Welcome to Big Daddy Story Time. We're reading Disney's 5-minute Pixar stories. Wally, back on Earth. After the Axiom landed back on Earth, the captain wanted to help all the passengers and robots aboard the ship adjust to the changes life on the planet would bring. He knew that by working together, they could make all Earth their home, even after having only lived on a luxury spaceship in outer space. Wally was happy to be back on Earth, and even happier not to be lonely anymore. He watched his favorite movies with Eve, collected even more new treasures with his robot friends, and still tidied up the planet one piece of trash at a time. But Eve was having a harder time finding something to do on the Earth. Her original directive was to scan the planet for any sign of planet life, and she found it. Now she wasn't sure how to fill her days, so she just flew around, still scanning and scanning and scanning. One day, the captain noticed Eve wandering around aimlessly. He had to help her somehow. The captain went to Wally, hoping that they together could find a purpose perfectly suited for Eve. I want everyone to feel at home and be happy here, Wally, but Eve seems like she's looking for something. Can you help? He asked. Wally beeped in agreement. Beep, beep, beep. He quickly rolled home to come up with a plan to cheer Eve up. A few days of thinking it over, Wally had the perfect idea. He would give Eve her very own, one of a kind garden. Eve already knew how to find planet life, but maybe now she could make plant life grow. And even better, all their robot friends could help. He knew Eve would love her garden even more if it was something they created together. Wally thought his friends could just help by clearing the land around his house. They removed rocks, roots, sticks, and trash from the soil, making sure it was perfect for whatever Eve wanted to grow. Then Wally built a fence around the piece of land using his compacted trash units. Next, his friends helped him gather some supplies Eve would need, which included soil, seeds, plant bulbs, and gardening tools. When the time finally came to show Eve what they had made, Wally could barely contain his excitement. He asked Eve to close her eyes, and he led her to the newly enclosed piece of land. When they arrived, he beeped for her to open her eyes. Beep, beep, beep. Wally told Eve that this garden was hers to take care of. She stared in amazement before she got to thinking and then got to work. She was even assigned some jobs to her friend. Eve thought vacuum would be perfect at planting seeds. Wally drilled holes into a large batch of dirt, and Eve gave some seeds to vacuum. Moments later, vacuum squeezed them right into the holes Wally had made. In the corner, Eve was planting some flowers and vegetables that needed less sun than the rest of the garden. She knew exactly which umbrella bot could help. Umbrella A would open his canopy and guard the plants from the sun as they started to grow. Eve thought MO would be able to help her clean the fruits and vegetables since he wanted to clean up all the dirt all the time. She knew he'd be delighted to help, and he was foreign contaminants. Mo cheered. Then Eve walked Van Gogh to the fence. Wally had built Van Gogh was ecstatic to find a blank canvas to show his work. Even if the paint splashed everywhere, it still made the little boxes of trash look even more beautiful. A few days later, the captain visited Wally and Eve's home to check on their progress. I was thrilled to see Wally's plan had worked. Building and managing a garden really was the perfect job for Eve. She looked happier than he'd seen her since they had returned to Earth. But then he noticed Eve flying back and forth, and then back and forth again with a watering can. He thought. Eve, the captain called, I have an idea for your garden. What if you built a well? I bet you could just burrow down here. I'd get water here faster, and it would get water here faster, and you wouldn't have to fly back and forth so much to fill your watering can. Then you could concentrate on planting. What do you think? Eve beeped excitedly. Beep, beep, beep. She loved the idea. For the first time back on Earth, Eve felt like she had a new directive. Over time, her garden grew and grew. It wasn't long before Eve and Wally had gardens surrounding their home. Wally, Eve beeped happily, beep, beep, beep. Her garden became her favorite places on Earth. She loved spending time surrounded by her plants with her favorite robot by her side. What have we learned today, my friends? We learned from Wally, Eve, and the captain and the other robot friends that happiness is being home with family and friends. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Big Daddy Story Time. God bless.